Welcome back, everybody. Level M Diecast. We have more case stuff today. Matchbox collectors. This is the T case. This is mix number 3 for 2023. Been a little bit of a pain in the butt trying to find these, so I did go ahead and buy a case of these. Of course, I bought it from J-Car Diecast. Buy it from them quite a bit. So we'll go ahead and crack this open. This is going to be the smallest mix of the year by far. Probably one of the smallest mixes of collectors, which is just a bummer, but that's just the way that it works. So we're going to go ahead and crack this open. The assortments on these later cases are a little interesting the way that they're doing this. So first one in the mix, this one is a brand spanking new casting, 1953 Ford COE. In a pretty iconic deco. We'll take a look at that here in just a minute because we're just going to go ahead and crack all these open as well. Now, there are 2 of those in the mix. There is your other Ford COE. So 2 of those in the mix. We'll put one to the right, one to the left. Another one in the mix here. This is the Datsun 510 Rally. This is a carryover from mix number 1 of this year. This is not new to the case. This is a redo from earlier in the year, which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate. So this is not a new one. So not going to crack that open. We've already taken care of that gun. There is 2 of those in the mix. Unfortunately, we've already seen that guy, but I guess if you have been having trouble finding that one, there you go. But I don't know anybody who's had trouble finding it. All right, next one up. This one is new to this case. 1978 Dodge Monaco Police. Again, non-moving parts. Everything non-moving parts thus far. Kind of a bummer. But we'll figure it out. This one looks pretty good in green. I don't believe that is a licensed deco, but we'll check it out. 2 of those in the mix. There is the other one. Other Dodge Monaco. Last one in the mix, of course, is the C8 Corvette. Brand new to the case. 2020 C8 Corvette. That one looks pretty good in white. Pretty fancy. So put that guy to the right. And then, of course, there is 2. So there's one more in the mix. Put that one to the left. We'll get the box out of the way. If you've been doing the math, then you will understand that there is only 3 models to take a look at in the mix. That's it. That is the whole mix. This is the whole mix. At least we get a new casting, but unfortunately, that is the whole mix. So we'll just go ahead and start with our Corvette. Number 22 of 22 for 2023. This is, of course, the C8 Corvette opening parts. For some reason, the box says 2022 on there. Must be for copyright, I guess. But this is 2023's version of Matchbox Collectors. There is the box. Always like to take a look at the box. That is probably the best looking blueprint one of them all. That one doesn't look like an off-roader. Doesn't look like it's got editing issues or anything like that. That one's fantastic. That one's really, really good. We look at those boxes every time we do these. And that particular one looks pretty good. Here is our C8. There is a logo right there for 70 years, which looks pretty good. Comes with the kind of wire style wheels with some dark red ring print on there. A little bit of red print on the side. 70th on the top. Well, that's cool. I didn't realize it was like Matchbox 70th. That's pretty cool. This one is a little rough on the top. Looks like a little bit of something in the paint. But inkjet printing looks good. Quality looks good. 70 years, of course. 1953 to 2023. Crack open our top. Nice print down in there, of course. Fully done up. Every single one of these opening part C8s have had the engine printed. Hopefully it stays that way forever. Looks really, really good. The hatch closes very, very well. Nice and snug. Details on the back. There is some print there on the base, which is really, really nice. So Corvette 70 on there. That's pretty cool. I definitely like that. Very, very nice. Barely zoom into that print. Looks good. Print's a little bit off from the hatch though. You see the hatch was printed differently, but that's okay. Base deets, there you go. S15, I think. S18. So that's the newest day code I think I've seen of anything that we've cracked for any brand thus far. All right, number 15 of 22. This is, of course, the 78 Dodge Monaco Police. First time ever seeing this one in premium. So breaking a little bit of ground here, I guess, by a new one, not seen in premium before. There is the box art. Of course, I like the blue and yellow boxes. They are pretty cool. There is your blueprints. Of course, this guy looks like he is, you know, an off-road rider. Looks more like, you know, AMC or Eagle, I should say, in the stance with how high up it is. But you could clearly tell it's still a cop, or still a car, I should say. You can see this one does have a little bit of air in there. You can see that the seat has the door window there, unfortunately, which is always a thing with these blueprints. We find those quite regularly. And then it looks like it has propellers for wheels, which is kind of interesting. So colored in looks a little bit better. This is our 78 Monaco. Does say Monaco there on the corner panel. Looks pretty good. Try to get that shield in there. Boone County, Missouri. Very, very nice. All right. Very excited that this is a licensed deco. This is very old school. Very old school. I like that. I like that a lot. They have done a lot of Boone County, no doubt. Chrome base on this one, so there's no prints on the front, which is okay. Light bar is integrated in as the window. A little bit of prints on the side. Really like the fact that the back is decoed up with all the taillights. That looks pretty good. And of course, it says Dodge on the trunk. So very minimal prints on this one. And then, of course, that kind of tri-spoke wheel that Matchbox uses. It's okay. It's not that great, but it's okay. Looks all right. So not too shabby. I mean, it's all right. All right. Now we're moving on to stuff, and that's a brand spanking new casting. Very, very happy to get a new casting. Of course, 13 of 22. This is the 53 Ford COE. I thought for sure this thing was going to be an opening parts model when I first saw it pop up, but unfortunately it is not. There is the box art. Looks pretty good. I like the stance. Definitely has a kind of a more hot rod look to it, which is cool. There is the blueprint. Blueprint looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Definitely looks very, very good with the wheels and stuff like that on there. They got the stance looking pretty good. So not any qualms with this particular one. Looks pretty nice. All right, 53 Ford COE. For sure I thought it was going to be an opening parts model. Now, looks are deceiving, I will tell you this. So this cap is all metal. However, all the fenders and all the fenders on the side is part of the interior piece. So that's all plastic. And then the bed is metal. You'll see there's a break in here. The sides of the bed are metal, but the cab is metal. And then the rest of this is all plastic. It says Matchbox Speed Shop on the back. Looks pretty good. Definitely like that. A little bit of taillight print on there as well. Those are Hot Wheels wheels. I think those are a perfect fit for this guy. No doubt about that. Of course, it comes with a super chrome base. 1402 is your man number, being it is a brand spanking new casting. That looks pretty good. I do like the front end as well. Now, this Speed Shop is an iconic deco. This was used in the 80s. They used this on the Ford Model A truck. And then Matchbox also reused this again on the 33, maybe 33 Ford Custom Coupe or whatever for the retro line. So both of those guys up there looking pretty spanking good. So keeping some flair going with reusable decos, which is always cool. But this is the smallest mix. Pretty shocking that this is only 3 cars. Now, there are, like I said, there's 4 cars in the mix, obviously, but we've already seen the Datsun. So this is all you get. A whole whopping of 3 cars in that mix. But couldn't find it in store, so I decided to buy a case. Brought it to you guys. Pretty happy about that. I am happy with the mix. Just really, really, really small. So drop a comment. Let me know what you think about that. Of course, all Matchbox stuff. Keeping it rolling. Making sure we complete everything. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Leveling.cast.